Have you ever wondered how those places filled with dirt or the forest areas just filled with trees and all those very green areas develop and turn into your dream home? I got you again. Today I'll be telling you about the unsung heroes in construction, and that is the earthworks. Sometimes I call them groundworks. I'll also be taking you to site to have a little bit of perspective of what I'll be talking about, so get ready. Let's get to it. You should know that constructions don't start with hammers and hard hats. So because of that, I'll do a quick rundown of the stages involved before getting into the earthworks process. Construction works usually kick off in the client's brain and then move on to the decision to build. Picture this. You've got a wild idea to build your dream house in an area that you own in Western Sydney, Australia. First thing to do is to map out the land. Coincidentally, I actually have a map out plan of somebody's dream right there in front of me. I'm tempted to show you, but I don't think I would. This mapping includes the levels, the slope, and the boundaries of your construction or of your dream home. By the way, this should only be done by professionals, and these professionals are called surveyors. Without the surveyors, these your developments could end up in your neighbor's backyard, so they are very important. By the way, the surveyors are usually involved in most of the construction stages. We'll talk about that some other time. Next thing to do is to contact your geotechnical engineer. Just so you know, that is my world. The geotechnical engineer carry out the ground surface and the subsurface exploration. So just take it that way: the ground surface and the subsurface. That is what's at the top and what is underneath. That usually involves drilling boreholes and testing the underlying materials of the earth, taking samples within the soil and taking them to the laboratory for testing. All these will help determine the ground strength and other characteristics of the ground and its subsurface layers. Sometimes the phase also involve environmental testing. The environmental testing might involve checking the chemical composition of the ground and its underlying layers to know how it affects the proposed structure and the environment. The architects are also contacted. They are the ones that will create those pretty designs of how the proposed structure should look, well, according to how the clients would like it. The design engineers and consultants then come in to give you the technical things, to let you know the technical things, the dimensions, everything technical to make the pretty drawings come to reality. You then go for approvals for the proposed works through the relevant agencies. All the technical things have to be approved. All the drawings have to be approved. Everything has to be approved. As soon as the approvals are gotten, earthworks then can begin. Before we go to site, let me just give a quick overview of what earthworks actually is. There are different stages in earthworks. I believe it starts by stripping the soil, and that is removing the topsoil or removing the unsuitable material. Excavating or cutting to the formation level, to the design level, and this might involve blasting of rocks if necessary, and then compacting the soil layers to provide stable base for the proposed development. Some people might call it dead sculpting phase, and this is where you're just carving out the soil before then going to foundation and services. Following the right earthwork processes is very important in Sydney, New South Wales, or anywhere in Australia because of the variable soil composition and ground condition. Now come with me to site where I'll give a detailed explanation of the step-by-step processes that might be involved in this. Clearing and topsoil removal involves the removal of grass, trees, and those random wombat burrows and stockpiling them. The area to clear sometimes look like this. The final result should look like this. The next keyword in the definition of this earthworks is excavating. There might be different reasons why someone might need to excavate. One reason could be to go down to the depth required, or the depth stated in the design. That is often referred to as cutting. I'm sure you've heard things like cut and fill, so this is the cutting part of it. Some contractors may be lucky to cut through soft materials, while some might have to go through rocks. I know some people literally cut through rocks using rock saw. Some hammer through them using hydraulic rock hammers. That way you will have to do it gradually like this. Another reason for excavating could be to remove the unsuitable materials. This means that the soil is not good enough for the proposed construction. Imagine seeing materials like this on site. It would be a crime to build on this, except you use deep foundation. Some materials behave like springs. Some are very spongy, and for some, you can swim in them. See, this one seems like I'm in a bouncing castle. This is why the excavation is very important. Some excavation works can be very massive, and some are just very little. Another key word in the definition for earthworks is compacting. Compacting comes hand in hand with filling. By the way, there are different soil layers required for every form of construction, but that's not what I'll be talking about today. Picture this. During compaction, we layer the materials like a massive lasagna, maybe like 50 millimeters, 100 millimeters, or even up to 300 millimeters at the time. Then we heat it using compaction equipment until it is hard enough and every last air pocket in them is squeezed out to reach a near maximum density. Some of the compaction equipments can include jumping jack, smooth drum roller, or sometimes part foot rollers. As long as it's heavy and it can roll, it can be used for compaction. I've also seen people use compaction wheels that are attached to excavators. One funny thing in construction is no one is trusted, even that your best mate. A geotechnical representative will have to be present and glued to what you're doing, ensuring you're doing the right thing and certifying that the soil is suitable and well packed and compacted. That is not all. There has to be a check, so the geotechnical representative will have to run a test to just confirm that what is done properly. Some of the confirmatory tests could include nuclear density testing. This can be carried out using a nuclear density gauge. Another set of confirmatory tests could include plate load tests, dynamic cone penetration tests, and the cone penetration test. All these can be used to confirm some of the strength properties of the soil. Proof roll tests are also carried out. This can be done using smooth drum rollers or heavy vehicles with tires. These vehicles are driven over the ground or over the area you want to test, just to confirm if there will be any kind of deflection or heavings that would occur. If these deflections exceed a certain limit, then it will be considered that area failed. This is me getting ready to mark out failed areas during the proof roll. If any of the confirmatory tests I mentioned come out with negative results, the assessed area will have to be redone or just remediated, or something has to be done to make it pass before it can be certified and you can be given the go-ahead to carry on with the works. This might be costly, but it's better than having a collapsed car park. So after the earthworks are done, what usually come after is to layer underground services. And to put all these underground services, big excavations have to be done, and sometimes just narrow trenches. The services I'm talking about could include water main, sewage, stormwater, electrical lines and conduits, gas lines, and many others. Most of these services installation would involve excavating through the already carried out earthworks. It is painful to watch sometimes. Just imagine looking at this fine area and someone just coming to dig through it. Why would you do that? But sometimes I agree with them. Sometimes I believe it's better to make the ground hard enough, then you can now dig through it to put what you want to put, then fill it back up. Sometimes you might have to dig through rock. So what you're seeing behind me sometimes could be rock, and to put your underground services, you have to dig through it. And I feel sorry for the guys that do them. It's not only service trenches that are dug in things like this. Sometimes you might have to dig up for foundation, installation, or construction. So for something behind me now, you might have to just carve out something to put your pad footings or something like that. After digging out, you have to put your services or your foundation. After doing that, you have to fill back up. Very sad. You then have to go through all the compaction processes again with somebody monitoring you, testing it, and it has to pass. Earthworks sets the stage for everything in the construction industry, including the road, the buildings you see, the pavement, the retaining walls, and every other structures you could think of. Get these earthworks wrong and it can lead to very massive failures, structural failures, and you see lawsuits flying around. That will be all for the day. Don't forget to like, comment about what you think about this information. Also share to someone that you think might be interested in this information, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time.